So unfortunately, fixing skinny fat isn't as simple or as easy as just cutting out foods, doing cardio and going to the gym, because you have to balance it around a life, a busy schedule, and you need to be more precise than you think when it comes to nutrition and training. So in this video, I'm going to break down 4 micro habits that you can start implementing from today that will help you speed up your results and finally fix skinny fat. And just for proof, this has worked for over 205 skinny fat men and counting. So let's cut straight to the chase. The first micro habit you can implement today is plan your meals ahead of time. A little bit obvious, a little bit boring, but let's think about this properly. If you're trying to change anything about your body's composition, in this case lose body fat and gain muscle to fix skinny fat, then your nutrition is going to be a key component, if not the most important component. So it can't be too vague, it can't be too extreme, and it needs to be somewhat sustainable to actually do it long enough to even see the results in the first place. So if you follow a meal plan, that can work, but it might get boring, it might get samey, and let's be real, you might need to stick to this for several months at a time, which means chicken, broccoli, and rice from the same plastic tub for quite literally 16 weeks back to back. You probably go insane, and it's very unlikely that any normal human being can stick to that. And the good news is it's not even necessary. Not to mention the difficulty of sticking to that with social events. We have to be realistic with this. If you're getting invited out for barbecues, you're going on holidays, or you're seeing your family on the weekends, or even just going for a date night, you're not necessarily going to bring a tub of chicken, broccoli, and rice with you. And most people that do meal plans will just go, oh, I'll have a cheat day, but how many cheat days are you going to have? Is that going to put you over your calories? It's just not going to work for most men. So the other option is, of course, tracking your calories and having a calorie target. And that is guaranteed to work if you hit those numbers. But the reality of hitting those numbers is easier said than done. So the micro habit that's going to help you do this is plan your meals the day before. We want to avoid waking up and going, I fancy some croissants and quiches. Weird craving, but whatever. Crumpets, because we're in England. I haven't had a crumpet in ages. And you wake up and that's what you fancy, and then you'll probably eat that if you've got it in the house. And then you try and track it and you're like, bloody hell, I'm already over my carbs for the day. And then you think, fuck it. And then you don't bother, right? Too many options will cause fatigue, and then you'll probably just go for the easy option, which is to not bother. Which is why people fall off their diet in the first place, because it's too resistant, it's too difficult. Whereas if you've planned your meals ahead of time, you think, right, I need to hit 200 grams of protein tomorrow. Right, in that case, I'll have 3 eggs for breakfast. I'll have a little protein yogurt after the gym. I'll have 2 scoops of whey protein, maybe 2 chicken breasts with some salad. And then if I fancy some carbs, I can have some pasta. Log it into your phone. Done. You wake up the next day, that diet is going to feel easy and seamless. As an added bonus as well, once you've been dieting for a while, it does get easier because you start to work out what works for you with your schedule, your appetite, and your cravings. Another reason why meal plans are a bit futile, because they're too rigid too soon. So plan your meals ahead of time, make sure they hit your numbers, and if you don't get it right the first time, that's fine. It's going to take a little while to refine it. I personally just track my meals the day before, wake up on that day, smash those meals, and do it again for the next day. It makes the diet so much easier. It's almost like brushing your teeth. You just do it and you don't really think about it. Also, if you don't know what numbers you need to hit to fix skinny fat, as always, I have a free nutritional blueprint which will help you work that out precisely, which will help you set up the calories and macros. Because if you're skinny fat, you can't be eating in a surplus and you can't be eating in a massive deficit where you might lose size. So you need to be precise. So get those numbers to work that out properly. Now, micro habit number 2 that's going to help you fix skinny fat is, instead of going to the gym with lots of overwhelm and thinking that you need to be on the treadmill for 45 minutes and that you need to do 2 hours of the weights and then you need to do the fat burning classes, and you're just quite frankly doing too much and burning the candle at both ends. Instead, pick one metric to overload with and make your workouts short and to the point. This makes them easier and more manageable. And if you're picking one thing to overload with at a time, you're far more likely to succeed. Because if you're trying to fix skinny fat, you're going to be in a calorie deficit, which means you're going to have less energy and less performance. So trying to do everything at once on a lower battery is just not feasible. So you'll just get stuck going through the motions in the gym and not really actually progressing anywhere. Whereas if you say pick strength as the main metric of overload, and you go to the gym for 20 minutes, 40 minutes at a time, and your goal is to simply overload with strength with a very basic workout routine, then every week you're far more likely to see progress. Now don't get me wrong, you're not going to overload every single session. That's not plausible, otherwise we'd all be the world's strongest man. But it's simple, it's to the point, it helps avoid overwhelm, and it's more manageable and sustainable around any busy lifestyle. It's exactly what we did with Avi, an absolutely incredible busy man. I don't even want to know how many hours he actually works per week, and he travels, and fitting in the gym is quite frankly ridiculous for him. But we made his workouts short, about 20 minutes, to the point, focusing on key compound movements, and then we overload them accordingly. And if he's particularly busy or traveling, we have a shorter, more to the point workout they can do from anywhere in the world. So micro workouts that are to the point are far more manageable and easy to stick to. If you think to yourself, oh, I got legs and I need an hour and a half and I got to set this up and do that, you're just making it more difficult to stick to. And then when something pops up and gets in the way and destroys that momentum, then you're far more likely to struggle to get started back at the gym. Once people fall off, they have a very hard time getting back to it. Whereas if it's a 20-minute workout to the point, it's a little bit more manageable to get in there. Plus, being realistic, that's all you need. And to further prove this point, in these 2 photos, I'm not sure if it's left or right, but this photo where I look like shit, I was training 7 days a week, certified freak. Now, 7 days a week, anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, because I quite frankly just love the gym and it's the only thing I did outside of work. Then on the other photo, that's me training 3 days a week, half an hour tops, but I did push for key metrics of overload like strength, intensity, and pushing to failure when needed. So it's a lot less volume, but the performance was advancing a lot quicker because there was more recovery and more precision and intent per each workout. And clearly I made more progress doing that. Now the third micro habit, this is a very boring one, but an absolutely powerful one. It's crazy how much this actually helps. And that is the simple, boring meme of a step target. 10k steps a day, bro. But hear me out. The reason this is so powerful for skinny fat guys in particular is it's not too full on. It's not too extreme. You're not going to burn into muscle tissue. You're not doing excessive cardio where your body's going to adapt and start to mean that you get skinnier. It's steady state cardio. So you're burning calories without tapping into muscle. It's more manageable. It's easier to set as a target. And on average, if you're doing anywhere between 5k to 10k steps, you could be burning 200 to 500 calories per day, which means you don't have to drop the calories down, so you can use those calories in the gym. And if you do go over slightly with your food on the weekends, or you want to be flexible with your food, you can use those steps as a way to manage the extra calories if you do so go over. Kind of eat more, do more. And then fourth micro habit, and I would say personally, this is probably the most important thing, especially if you're skinny fat. I cannot stress this enough. You know, if you're fat and you're trying to lose weight, you can just do loads of running and eat salads and you're not going to lose too much muscle because you've already got a lot of size. If you're absolutely skinny and trying to bulk and you want to add size, you can just eat loads of food, lift loads of weights, aim to overload, and you don't really need to worry about it too much. If you're skinny fat, we're trying to lose body fat and not lose muscle, and then reverse diet to add muscle without adding body fat. So what that means is we need to be incredibly precise. And the only way to guarantee that you're being precise is to track everything. And when I track everything, I don't want that to be too vague. I'm talking track your scale weight, track your measurements, take progress photos once per week, track your performance in the gym, track your progress photos, and track your food. It sounds like a lot of overwhelm and a little bit crazy, but if you go to the gym and you're eating well and doing everything correct, but you're not seeing results, then you don't know what you need to change. And that means you might jump from program to program, diet to diet, and get lost down the YouTube fitness rabbit hole where you just look at everything and try everything and get nowhere. Whereas if you're tracking those basics and something stops working, you can easily just pull it up on a spreadsheet and go, right, okay, well actually, I haven't overloaded my bench press for a while. Maybe I should drop the weight and add some reps. Or maybe you look at it and go, actually, my carbs have been on average 20% higher this week and that's slowing me down. Or you could look at your food and go, actually, my scale weight's gone up even though the calories are right, so maybe my calorie tracking's off. These are the exact metrics that I go through every single week with my clients. That's one of the reasons they get such quick results, and I can guarantee it if they hit these numbers. It just takes out all the guesswork, all the overwhelm, and makes progress a lot more predictable, which means you're not bashing your head against the wall going insane when you hit a plateau. Now, if you actually want me to help you do this, you can book a call with me down below if you want my help one-to-one, if I have any spaces. If you want to try and do that on your own, follow these 4 micro steps in this video, and if you implement them correctly, you will make substantial progress. Now, if you want to know a little bit more specifically about how you can fix skinny fat and what to do exactly, then you can watch this video over here, which should break things down into a little bit more detail. As always, like and subscribe, and if you watch the video to the end, comment Apple for the algorithm. Thank you.